دار السلام ويهدي من يشاء إلى صراط مستقيم.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm your host, Jamil Rashid, on this episode of Gaza Massacre. This series of programs we're bringing to you, our audience, Huda TV's audience, the Muslim world, to educate you, to bring you up to date with what's going on to our brothers and sisters in Palestine, in Gaza. I have with me today former Ambassador Rida Farhat, also member of the Egyptian Council for Foreign Affairs. Assalamu alaikum. Jazakallah khair for joining us today on Gaza Massacre.
Thank you for inviting me.
Ambassador, I would like to put to you, we are seeing a present situation of Israeli incursions into Gaza. People are dying on multiples, people are getting injured every minute of the day. This incursion, what does it say to the international community, to the peace-loving people of the world? We can go anywhere we want to, when we want to, how we want to?
I think we have to look into the international environment, and the question is, what happened after there is a moment, a crucial moment, a turning point, and this is what happened in September 11, when the U.S. They had the World Trade Center and so on, and then the specter of terror emerged, and also we had the collapse of the Soviet Union, and a new enemy emerged from the perception of the West, of the Western world, if you please, if you like, and this is that Islam is the real enemy, with such doctrinaire like Samuel Huntington calling out the clash of civilizations and so on. And also what contributed to aggravate the situation is the existence of some extremists which reinforced the idea that Islam is that the Muslims are they lean towards terrorism. When you look at the strategy, the national security strategy of Bush immediately after 2001, and he said, we will fight the terrorists and the tyrants. They wanted to ignore that there is injustice being suffered by the Arabs and Muslims, and they concentrate. They say this is lack of democracy and so on. Lack of democracy could be one factor, but it is not the major issue. The major issue is that there is injustice, there is a denial of the rights of the people in Palestine. Also, there is this unjustified war on Iraq and so on. So one thing is that the media was manipulated to reinforce the concept that there is terrorism, and mainly the Muslims are responsible, which of course is a fallacy. It's not true. Islam is a religion which calls for tolerance. We have from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he gives us the example of tolerance, how he made peace with the Jews, how he treated the Ahl al-Zimma, the Christians, and all this. So this is one perception which influences the world public opinion. But of course, the peoples and the civil society, the press, there is also, we must not despair that these massacres and these atrocities are condemned, are denounced, and later the setup, the world now we live in a unipolar system, world system, and this is, I think, we could see emerging gradually a multipolar system, and the situation could change, and some hope could be restored.
Okay, Jazakallah khair for the Ambassador. Upon the point about these false nightmares created, we're going to reach on that point, but just before that, we have Brother Abu Muhammad live from Gaza. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Abu Muhammad. Are you with us?
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Brother, if I could just ask you, what's the present situation in terms of the bombardment from the occupying forces? I don't like calling them Israel because they're still on occupied land. They're still occupying your land there and our land. What's the situation, brother?
In the name of Allah, most merciful and most compassionate, thank you for Channel of Al-Huda and all workers. And we are living in very bad condition. We are living in a terrible siege, terrible slaughter or massacre. We are living in very bad conditions. We have no electricity, we have no food, we have no doctors, we have no equipment for doctors to make surgical operation. The health is very bad for all the people here. We are very bad condition all the time, bombed by airplane, by attacks with bomb. We can't speak too much about this matter because we are very bad social condition. So we can, what we can say, all Arabs or Muslims leave us alone, go to the slaughter. So we don't know electricity. Many days we have no electricity, we have no water, we have no food. We are living in tourism. I want to ask the Muslim and Arab nation, we are part of Arab Muslims. Why leave us alone? Where is the government of Muslims? Where is the government of Arabs? Where is the democracy which we speak so much about this? Where is the right of man? Where is the right of woman? Where is the right of the children? They killed everything. We don't know how we can speak, or no one can imagine how we can live. No one. We are living in darkness in all time, bombs in all time.
Brother Abu Muhammad, I just want to ask you one question. Rather, what's the thoughts, if there are any thoughts at this time? I know you're very concerned with your situation. What's the thoughts about those people who are leading organizations like Mahmoud Abbas, who are saying that we should cooperate and so forth? What's the thought about these kind of people?
No one can make anything for us. All of Arab presidents leave us alone. All the people leave us. They are witness on the television what's terrible for us having. So no one move. No one can make anything. I want to ask all the people, where is the right of the children? Children killed, the children wounded. More than 1,000 people killed or injured or wounded. No one moved. Bomb, destroy, wipe out everything. University, hospitals, ambulance, everything. So we are. I don't know. I cannot describe our situation. The economic is very bad. The social is very bad. We are in siege. We are living in full foresight in terrible life. At every moment we have bombed. At every time we have bombed. So the children killed, the trees killed. Everything is very bad.
What's this medical situation at present? Is an aid coming through in terms of medical aid?
Medical, it is very, very bad, under zero. We have no doctors. The hospital is crowded with injured or killed people. We have no equipment. We have no qualified doctors. Everything is very bad. We have been Holocaust, if we can say. We have been terrible Holocaust. Where is the war? I don't know. Where is the war? We are attacked with all kinds of airplanes, attacked with bombs, attacked with everything. I don't know at what time it will be like that. No one can save us from this terrible Holocaust. We are in the center of freedom. Where is the freedom? Where is the democracy? Where is the world? I don't know what we can say about our situation.
Brother Abu Muhammad, Jazakallah khair. We would like to speak to you, inshallah, again. We thank you for taking your time out and speaking to us today. I don't really have much words to say to Brother Muhammad because his situation is very straightforward. Oppressed, atrocities day and night happening to them. The international community is saying it's trying to do something, but with countries like America vetoing everything, they've just vetoed something else recently, saying that they're not going to call for a ceasefire. As people of humanity, okay, how do we see this? As people of the world who are watching.
It's shocking. This is atrocities. Now they want to hold the president of Sudan to bring him to the criminal court, and they tolerate such atrocities, which is far. This is much more serious, and then what happens is that gradually the Palestinian people will be able to stand to these atrocities. The immediate problem now is to arrange for a ceasefire and then to forge a strategy in how to deal with the Arab-Israeli conflict and to look into the international relations of the Middle East, to look into the map, the major actors, the core countries, the periphery countries, and we have to mobilize the regional groupings. We have the Organization of the Islamic Countries, we have the Non-Aligned Movement, and we have many forums, and even we could try to resort to the United Nations General Assembly. It could be far-fetched to have a uniting for peace resolution, but we could try as to use every venue to try. But what I want to point out here is that we need to be able to maneuver. We need to see what are the limitations on our actions and to act within what you call a realpolitik. This is our problem now. The world, we have one superpower. When the Soviet Union was there, we could maneuver somehow, we could get some support, but I think that there would be light at the end of the tunnel. Now, you said you live in Britain, and you know now that Britain is going to pull out of Iraq, and the Blair legacy is condemned. Blair is not in a favorable light now because he went along. They called him the poodle of the state. So I think that we have to do our best. I think there will be a ceasefire sometime, but of course this devastating actions, now we stand helpless. But what we could do is to hamper on the justice. Or I mentioned here, I could read Prince Saud al-Faisal has been contacting, pressuring the United States to do something about it. Also on
this kind of pressure from the United States we're going to tackle in the second half, but just holding on that point, we're going to take a very short break and inshallah return in a couple of minutes where with the ambassador we're going to be speaking about this international pressure and how to really apply it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
اللهم إني أسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى اللهم إني أسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Jamil Rashid. I'm your host on this episode of Gaza Massacre. We're speaking with Ambassador Rida Farhat. Ambassador, we left speaking about the pressures, how to apply this pressure on the international community so they can recognize the Palestinian people and their plight. But I just got a question to you, and I put this question to you, that many people may turn around and say international condemnation is too late. International efforts to stop this massacre is too late. Palestinian people on the street will say to you, we have no hope on our so-called brethren of faith, the Arab countries. What I say to you is that isn't it about time that we realize that countries like America, like the UN generally, they're not ready for finding a solution for the Palestinian people because they themselves, Britain, America, France, put a country like Palestine under this pressure?
Well, we could try to look into the international relations of the Middle East. What do the West in general want from the Middle East? They want stability, they say they want development, they want the flow of oil at a reasonable price, and they want to do business with them, and then emerged the problem, what they call terrorism after 9/11. But we should try to go through the institution, through the system, the American system, which they claim is open. We should try to reach for the decision-making circles, to the academics, to the think tanks, to the press, and it is not easy. We know that there are pressure groups and the Zionist lobby, or whatever you call it.
Well, I mean, the Zionist lobby, for example, let's look at the Zionist lobby. People, unfortunately, and I think we did discuss this off air, that people unfortunately look at all Jews as Zionists, and as we know, this is not true. We're going to speak about this. I have with me now a short clip of a director, David Bender, who has done a short video about Qurtuba and Ibn Rushd and the Muslim scholars at that particular time, working with Jewish scholars to advance society. This is what he had to say about this misinformation of people speaking about the Jews as all being Zionists, and his call for the Palestinian people.
I think it's very important for Arabs and Muslims to know that there are thousands of Jews around the world, like myself, who are opposed to what Israel is doing in Gaza, who have been for many decades opposed to the occupation of Palestine, the destruction of Palestinian homes, the expulsion of the Palestinian people. We think this does not speak for us. Because we are the followers of the Jewish religion, and the Jewish religion believes in justice, we support the right of the Palestinians to an independent state and to live free of the occupation that Israel has imposed upon them. What is happening now in Gaza is a war crime. The starving of millions of people, the bombing of civilian neighborhoods, these things pain us very much, not only because they are crimes against humanity, but they are crimes committed by people within our community. And so, because we are Jews, we oppose what is going on in Gaza and call for an immediate ceasefire on all sides and an end to the violence and a reintroduction of the truce, leading to a final settlement based upon the rights of the Palestinian people.
As you can see there, I mean, this is clear that this is recognized by humanitarians, that this is not a Jewish-Arab conflict, or it's rather a conflict for Zionism against the Muslims. Wouldn't you say so?
I would say that this lobby is influencing the elections of the President of the United States, the decision-making process, that these people, this gentleman was, it's very, very nice words, but where does it go? I mean, he is, I think, rather there is equivocation here. The majority of the Jewish community, they try to influence the decision maker in the United States, and furthermore, even in Israel, every time it's crucial for them to take a decision, to make an important decision, they say we cannot do it because we are not a majority. There is a coalition and the Shas party and so on. So I think this is rather, you have the Peace for Now movement. I think what they are doing is they are giving the semblance of democracy. Mm-hmm. And I argued once that there is a division of roles. There are different roles. One is hawkish, one is dovish, one, and but the end result is that they are able to manipulate the decision maker in the states, and always indiscriminately to support the Israeli position, whatever it is.
Okay, this Israeli position, which of course is always put through America. America is the, how would you say, the tough gut behind the soft underbelly, which is the occupied forces there. What should an international condemnation, what sort of condemnation should there be towards America? Now, the reason I'm saying this is because many people say there should be a truce on both sides. There should be a stop and escalation of war. Like America said, it's not a fair war. You've got F-18s, you've got their tanks versus people sending rockets. They've killed 20 people in 8 years. What does the international community do against a country like America, which vetoes anything to do with Israel? Shouldn't there be condemnation of America itself, a direct condemnation, especially, say, from the OIC? Yes. Shouldn't there be?
There should be. And even if you look at the Iraqi war, France and Germany, they opposed the American invasion of Iraq.
But this shows the power. I mean, they still went with the so-called coalition of the willing.
But the problem is with the European Union is that they are an economic giant, but a political dwarf. They are the biggest donor for the Palestinian Authority.
Okay, I've got a question for you here, which follows this line actually. People like France and these countries like Germany. But what about countries like China now, for example? The Arab world buys The amount of goods it buys from China is unbelievable. I mean, you go to any Arab country, majority of goods nowadays are made by China. From cars to stereos to any kind of item, it's made in China. We all know the Sini. So,
I served in China.
yes, there you are. So you can ask this. What's China's role in this? I mean, China it takes so much benefit from the Arab country. What is it doing? It's a permanent member of the Security Council. Yes. What's it doing?
I would say that China is following a pragmatic policies, and they used to champion the third world cause. But now they went it's a nuclear power. They are economically they are overflooding the world with their products and so on, and I think they are. They support the Arabs in general, the Arab cause. But in the meantime, they won't take very drastic positions. They for most, they are looking after their national interests.
Okay, Ambassador Rida Farhat, Jazakallah khair for being with me today on Gaza Massacre. That's the end of this episode of Gaza Massacre. If you've got any comments you'd like to send, please send them to feedback@Huda TV. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
الحمد